So what are they doing? When we cut to these shots of congressmen and senators, even the president, railing to the TV cameras about how angry they are about this shutdown, anyone tell me what they're doing about this shutdown. I guess it hit me the other night, I think it was Wednesday night, when I was covering all this unfolding live on FBN, which if you don't get...
Demand it.
Yes, because we were demanding what this was all about. And after you hear this, you're going to be furious. It's 8 p.m. or thereabouts. That pointless meeting at the White House between the president and congressional leaders had long wrapped up. Despite them all being cooped up in the same room for, I think, upwards of an hour and a half, we learned later that nothing happened, nothing was achieved, nothing got done. Then they all trotted out, and each essentially said that they were done. After calling each other names, they were calling it a night. There would be no more business to discuss that night, actually, technically, pretty much any night. But then I'm watching the House floor and thinking, apparently, the troops didn't get the message because congressmen were still yapping, hours after their leaders all but said lights out. But it wasn't lights out. These guys were just getting started, speaking in a chamber that was all but empty. I'm not kidding you. Elvis hadn't only left the building, the people of Elvis had left the building. All his fans had left the building. Even the janitors had left the building. There was no one in the building save a few congressmen who just felt compelled to rant. Some even debate. Some even use charts, as if anyone was watching, as if anyone cared. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, and I said so myself. What are they doing on the floor right now? If business is complete and there's no negotiating being done, who are these guys? What are they talking about on the floor? There's nothing to be done.
Those are called special orders. They happen every night.
Really?
Sometimes there's a few people on the floor. Most of the time, they're not very many. But it's an opportunity to have debate.
But they're not debating anyone. So they went on and on, hour after hour, oblivious to the hour. I even asked one of their colleagues what this grandstanding was all about and to what end. You're debating with the chair, right? I mean...
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's been going on for a lot longer than I've been here.
Well, at least he was honest. Now, it would be funny if it weren't so sad. Rome is burning. These guys are fiddling. The president is blaming. And not a one of them is doing. They're just yapping to themselves, like they mattered, like they cared. Now, you would think that if they're not going to do anything on this shutdown, the least they could do is shut up. But no, that's not what they do. Speaking of yammering, did any of you see this?
Rather than piecemeal the American dream, rather than respond in a way that leaves 8,000 federal employees unemployed, and God knows the tragedy of this poor person who came on the Hill in a black car. No one knows what would drive this person to do this. But what I would say to you is, let's get our wheels back on, serve the American people, bring them back, vote for a bill today that will open the government.
All right, that was only hours after that lockdown in Washington yesterday, after this bizarre driving chase. We're going to ask the Democratic Congressman Sheila Jackson Lee about this tomorrow in special live coverage of A Cost of Freedom that begins 10 a.m. until noon. Along with Congresswoman Lee, we've got Republican Senator Mike Lee, no relation, by the way. We've got Treasury Secretary John Snow. Dick Armey, remember him? He was at the epicenter of all this in the last government shutdown. He says there was a curious way they got out of that then. Could they do it now? Joining me for this special coverage will also be the latest sort of market reads, how you play this. It's very simple. We've got your money. We've got your back. It's called Shutdown. What's up? It's very, very clear. It occurs to me that a lot of you, with all these changes we're planning, live coverage tomorrow and next week with everything we're starting with a new prime time, I love this stuff. It's going to start next week, and you got Shep starting right before me with a whole new way to cover news. You got Greta. Now, they will be taller for this. I want you to be aware that they will be taller. I still can't get over Riley doing this. I do want to remind you, though, that we're still live following this tonight on FBN. We're going to be live, okay? And it's going to be at 8 p.m., all right? I can't afford what they're doing probably, but I think it's going to be every bit. Again, there's going to be a quiz, okay? We're going to be live. It's going to be at 8 p.m. This network gets it done. I'm telling you, we're getting it done. Next week, with all this whole new prime time, it's going to blow you away. And this weekend, tonight, everywhere, we've got you covered. Fancy graphics, everything.